Thank you, Laurel. Cheerful music for a now snowy morning. 2 hours ago, it wasn't like that. And good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We're delighted that you could join us here this morning for our service. Our mission here at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Mary Jo Hennessy, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you are a newcomer or a visitor, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill, and you'll receive a lot more information about our congregation. You can sign up to receive our weekly newsletter called The Beat, which gets sent to your email on Wednesdays and is full of all the very vibrant events going on within the congregation and outside of the congregation that support our mission. And if you are out there joining us online today under your warm, comfy blankets, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd love to hear from you as well. And at this time, a gentle reminder, let's turn off those cell phones, shut down those tablets, disconnect from those electronics, and be here together, present. And before I proceed, we have a public service announcement.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Laurel, and I'm the sibling of a member of the 2024 Coming of Age class here at Sunnyhill. For anyone who doesn't know, Coming of Age is a year-long exploration of faith traditions for 8th graders. One of the big things we do here at Sunnyhill every year as a COA class is to present the Sunnyhill Coffee House. And you should come. It's a night to see the hidden talents of many of the people sitting right here in this room. A kind of Sunnyhill's Got Talent. Coffee House will be happening right here this coming Saturday, March 16th at 6:30. We'll have coffee, of course, and baked goods to buy while you watch what is sure to be the best show ever. Admission is the bargain price of $10. Yes, only $10. And all proceeds will go toward our first annual Coming of Age Youth Group Bridging Retreat in May. So come out, eat home-baked goodies, see some incredible talent, and support our class as we learn what it is to be you. We already have some top-notch talent lined up, but we can always use more. The sign-up deadline is today, so sign up via the link in the Beat or see Mary after the service. Thanks.
I think her older sibling owes her one, huh? Today's service is titled, The Gospel of Mark, Good News. What is the good news of our current era? Is there such a thing as good news when we are facing so many grim challenges? This sermon, the first of 3 inspired by the Gospel of Mark, will explore what it means to be bringers of good news, even or especially in dark times. Our opening words were written by Gretchen Haley. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? In these days, we find ourselves too often stuck with these questions on repeat. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? We grasp at signs and markers, articles of news and analysis, Facebook memes, and forwarded emails as if they were the new zodiac, capable of forecasting all that life may yet bring our way, as if we could prepare, as if life had ever made any promises of making sense or turning out the way we thought, as if we are not also actors in this still unfolding story. For this hour, we gather to surrender to the mystery, to release ourselves from the needing to know, the yearning to have it all figured out, and also the burden of believing we either have all the control or none. Here in our song and our silence, our stories and our sharing, we make space for a new breath, a new healing, a new possibility to take root. That is courage forged in the fire of our coming together and felt in the spirit that comes alive in this act of faith, that we believe still a new world is possible, and that we are creating it already, here and now. Now please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. May this fire rekindle, light our way as we work to transform and heal ourselves and our world.
Good morning. There it is. Please rise and bow to your spirit to join in singing our opening hymn.
This is a slightly different arrangement of this song from the one that's in our hymnal. So I invite you to join in as you get the hang of it. We'll sing that first verse twice.
Whoops. Sorry, my bad.
Here we go.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Okay, go. Morning, everybody. We have a membership ceremony this morning, so I invite everyone who's joining today to please come forward. You can line up on the first step here. I'm just going to do a quick introduction of everybody, and you can see their full bios on the board right outside of the sanctuary on your way out. All right, so first we have Stephen Bates and Heather Forrester here on the end. Stephen looks forward to joining a community of like-minded individuals, and Heather looks forward to being a part of a diverse, progressive community with common hope for a better world. Next, we have Rebecca Weaver and Finley Kate Fillong. Rebecca is looking forward to continuing her faith journey at Sunnyhill and getting more involved in the social justice work being done and participating in the choir. And Finley is most excited to be a part of a community dedicated to social justice and to volunteer with the Scout troops here. Yes. All right. All right, next we have Sandy Smith and Susan Terrell. Sandy and Susan look forward to meeting like-minded people who are committed to social and environmental justice. And we have Chris Deasy. Chris is excited to get to know his neighbors and Unitarian Universalism. And last on the end, we have Jill and Hawk, and Jill looks forward to joining with the welcoming, inclusive Sunnyhill community, meeting new people, finding ways to contribute, and continuing her faith journey.
We have a short ceremony. These first words are addressed to our new members, and I'll ask you at some point to say "we will," just so you know the magic words. Today we welcome into our congregation these new members who have chosen to become a part of this church. We are so glad to have you here with us and delighted that you have chosen to share this part of your life journey with us. Will you accept our gifts of fellowship, mutual support, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? And will you work with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to compassion and justice? If so, please say, "We will." We will. Congregation, will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts that they bring to us? And will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? If so, please say, "We will." We will. Let us say together the words you may see on our screens, which reflect our common purpose and common love in the midst of our diversity of beliefs. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Please join me in welcoming our new members.
Good morning, friends. If there are any kiddos present that want to come on up for our time for all ages, now is your chance. Welcome back. Hello again. All right, friends. The word gospel means good news. So when we talk about the Gospels that are found in the Christian Bible, their purpose is sharing the good news of a man named Jesus who lived a long, long time ago. So what was this good news of Jesus? Jesus lived at a time when life was really, really hard for most people. The world was unfair and unjust. The Gospel of Mark, one of the texts about the life of Jesus found in the Christian Bible, tells us that he preached a message of love and justice. It talks about how Jesus stood up for others who were marginalized and his acts of compassion for those in need. It talks about how Jesus wanted to include everyone and called for justice. Here's one story that is found in the Gospel of Mark. One day, a man asks Jesus, "What is the most important rule of all?" Jesus answered, "The most important rule is to love God with all your heart and mind. The second rule is to love your neighbor as yourself." As Unitarian Universalists, the word God could be used in many different ways, from traditional to mystical or even natural. So for me, this passage means to love the heck out of this world in all of its beings and to work to make it a better place. I think it's so interesting that the word love comes up so often in my stories with you all. We've talked about God being love and our principles being a house of love. We've talked about justice being what love looks like in public, and about siding with love, and about love being the center of all we do in Unitarian Universalism. I think that is truly the good news or gospel of UU. Love, love, love. It's a thread that connects us back through the words of Jesus and so many other parts of our history, all the way through today with each and every one of us. Many of my friends know that I'm a huge fan of this music band called the Ava Brothers. One of my favorite songs of theirs closes with this line: "With Lucifer beneath you and God above, if either one of them asks you what you're living of, say love. Say, for me, love." That's how I think to define the good news or gospel of Unitarian Universalism. I say love. I say, for me, love. And with that, we're going to head downstairs to our RE classes. Let's sing the children out.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
You're invited to sing along on the chorus of this one. It's pretty easy. Hey, hey, hey. No matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away.
Bonus for harmonies.
It's been a long time coming that I had to say. When I wake up in the morning, every do is pray for some guidance and protection on the street today, and an answer to the questions I ask every day. Like, tell me, why do the birds that used to fly here? Tell me, why do they come to die here? And all the kids that used to run here, tell me, why do they hold their guns here? I remember in the days when we were one heart, no need to defend. I just wrap my arms around you. Don't give up, the song is for you. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, I'm trying to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on. From the tops of the buildings to the streets below, from the Wall Street banks to the empty homes, between the lines of the people standing all in a row, there's a crack in the gutter where a flower grows, reminding me that everything is possible, reminding me that nothing is impossible. You gotta live for the one that you love, you know. You gotta love for the life that you live, you know. Singing, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. And hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, trying to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on. Until the morning comes again, I will remain with you, my friend, and we will ride until the sun comes to the place where it begun, and we will live to laugh and cry another day. Don't let nobody ever tell you that it couldn't be done. Don't let nobody ever tell you that we couldn't be one. Don't let nobody ever tell you that it shouldn't be sung. Don't let nobody ever tell you you're the only one. Singing, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. One more time. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away.
This is the time in our service when we share joys and sorrows that have been submitted by members of the congregation. After each joy or sorrow that I share, please respond by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." A concern submitted by Kathy Jury, who says, "Our member Barb Schock continues to heal and fight boredom after her recent foot surgery. To Barb, we hold you in our hearts." A sorrow from Rosalind Maholland. Rosalind says, "Bud and I are so very sad to observe the second anniversary of the death of our son-in-law, Dr. Ramadan Hussein. Ram was a Humboldt scholar and tenured professor of Egyptology at the University of Tübingen, Germany. He was only 50. An exhibit in his honor opened at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo this week. Our daughter Angela and 3 grandchildren now share our Crafton duplex. We have become a strong family of 6, but Ramadan's absence will always be felt, and the kids will live the rest of their lives without their dad. To Rosalind Maholland and family, we hold you in our hearts." A sorrow submitted by the Craig family. They say, "Our family is devastated to share that 2 of Casey's classmates took their lives recently. February 18th, a fellow freshman, and March 1st, a 7th grader from Lincoln Park Performing Arts School ended their lives. Both these children identified as part of the LGBTQ+ community. Unfortunately, these were not isolated events, as 2 students also committed suicide during the last school year. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. You are loved." To the Craig family and to all who are affected by these tragedies, we hold you in our hearts. A joy from Sunnyhill's LGBTQIA+ social justice team. It was a joy to experience the movie 2 Lives in Pittsburgh here at Sunnyhill on Friday evening. The movie promotes understanding of trans discovery and acceptance. We raised over $1,500 to donate to 2 important organizations, Levo Pride and Trans Uniting PGH. For all involved in making this film screening happen, we hold you in our hearts. Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. In a world often marked by sorrow, by discontent, by pain and want and worry, we long for warmth and well-being, for rest and relief and repose. We long for comfort. Let us pause for a moment of silence to make space for those things that cause us discomfort, to hold them lightly and then let them go, drifting into the care and comfort of this gathered community. May our souls sing a song of quiet contentment and comfort. May we speak in comforting ways to those around us. May we immerse ourselves in the dance of joy and sorrow, agitation and tranquility, uncertainty and resolve. And may we learn to bring comfort to ourselves and others in an often comfortless world. Amen. We invite anyone who wishes to do so to come forward now, light a candle, place it in the sand, and return to your seats as we sing our musical meditation.
Comfort me,
Today's sermon is the first of three that I am delivering on the Gospel of Mark, which is not coincidentally the subject of a 6-week Bible study that I am leading on Mark during the season of Lent. In fact, we just had our third session this past Wednesday and still have several to go. The study guide that we're using is a book written by Amy Jill Levine titled The Gospel of Mark, A Beginner's Guide to the Good News, which is also the source of much of the material for this sermon series. The Gospel of Mark is the shortest of the Christian Gospels and is thought to be the oldest. It was written in Greek somewhere around or after the year 70 in the Roman Empire and was used as source material for the later Gospels. Mark contains nothing about Jesus' conception or birth, nor does it, in its original version, contain an account of the resurrection or anything that took place after the resurrection. The Gospel of Mark is, simply put, a brief account of the life and teachings of Jesus, beginning with his baptism by John the Baptizer and ending with the discovery of the empty tomb on the third day after the crucifixion. The entire book of Mark is focused on Jesus, except for one passage having to do with the death of John the Baptizer, which in some ways foreshadows Jesus' eventual death. Jesus, as presented by Mark, is an enigmatic and not entirely likable character. As described by Levine, in Mark's gospel, Jesus teaches more by actions than by words. Many cite Luke's compassionate Jesus, who says, "Blessed are the poor," tells parables of the Good Samaritan and prodigal son, and prays from the cross, "Father, forgive them." Levine says, "I picture Luke's Jesus extending his arms and welcoming people into his embrace." Mark's Jesus, on the other hand, is more likely to glare in frustration, whether at demons who promote their own kingdom or at disciples who miss his points again and again. Mark's gospel proceeds at a breathless pace as Jesus travels from place to place, performing miracles, teaching in the form of parables, and then quickly moving on. From start to finish, Jesus seems to be impatient and in a hurry to get to the next thing. It's useful to know a little bit about the historical context of what was happening at the time that Jesus lived, as well as what was happening at the time that Mark's gospel was written. Jesus was born and lived his life in Judea, one of the farthest corners of the Roman Empire at that time. Judea was a land of ancient traditions and religious fervor, and decades of oppressive Roman rule was leading to ever-growing resentment among Judeans. As Jesus was growing up, Judea was collapsing into chaos. Its population had split into hostile groups. Preachers and prophets roamed the countryside, drawing enormous, passionate crowds. It was a time of great unrest and great uncertainty. Some decades later, likely between the years 64 and 72, the Gospel of Mark was written during the time of the first Jewish revolt against Rome, when the Jerusalem temple was destroyed several decades after Jesus was crucified. The destruction of the temple in Jerusalem was a seminal event that led to even more unrest and uncertainty among Judeans and in the Roman Empire. So there was a lot going on at the time of Jesus and at the time of the writing of Mark. And it is clear that these historical circumstances played a major role not just in the life and death of Jesus, but also in the way that the story of his life and death was told decades later, not by an eyewitness, but by an author or authors who compiled stories from the oral tradition that grew around Jesus following his death. The first words of the Gospel of Mark, translated from the original Greek, are the beginning of the good news of Jesus, Messiah. Messiah literally means the anointed one, which can connote either Savior or one who is blessed and can bestow blessings. The phrase good news, euangelion in Greek, would have been familiar to contemporaries of Jesus and Mark as it related to the Roman Empire. It was good news, usually of the political sort. The good news of the emperor's birthday, for example, often came with tax relief or gifts to the poor. However, thanks in no small measure to Mark, the term very early became associated with the story of Jesus. So we can begin to see almost immediately this juxtaposition between the good news of Jesus on one hand and the good news of the empire on the other. And any time that an empire is challenged in some way, anytime residents of an empire start believing that good news can come from outside the system of empire, the leaders of that system start to feel threatened. That was true 2,000 years ago, and it's still true today. But what was the good news of Jesus? It had to do with the in-breaking, the breaking into human history of this thing that Jesus called the kingdom of heaven or kingdom of God. The kingdom of heaven itself is such an elusive concept that Jesus can only describe it using parables, which is a constant source of frustration both for the disciples and for contemporary readers of Mark as well. In the parables of Mark, Jesus says that the kingdom is like seed scattered on the ground. It is like a lamp. It is like a mustard seed. It is like salt. It is like a fig tree, on and on, parable after parable, describing what the kingdom of heaven is like without actually describing it. However, one thing that seems clear in the Gospel of Mark is that the good news is happening now. It is breaking into our lives at this moment. For the Jesus of Mark, good news is not about some promise of salvation in the afterlife, at least not only that. It is about the here and now and what can happen in the here and now if we are awake to it. The good news of Jesus in the Gospel of Mark is that we, all of us, do have agency in our own lives and in the world, and how we perceive this agency can make a difference in how it comes to be. We have power, we have agency, we can make a difference, and if we are open to it, we can see the manifestation of the kingdom of heaven even now. That is the good news of Jesus. It's a simple concept, but it's also incredibly difficult. Let's fast forward a couple of thousand years to our own place and time. What is the good news today, especially for us as religious liberals and Unitarian Universalists? What is our good news? To put forth my own parabolic example, I would say that our good news is a little bit like a bad joke that I sometimes tell when we're raising money for the congregation. It goes like this. The good news is that this church has all of the money it needs to fulfill its mission and reach its goals. The bad news is that it's sitting in our bank accounts right now. The good news is that transformation and healing are possible. But it's up to us to manifest these things here and now, to bring them into being. Even in a world that seems hopelessly fractured, even in times that seem incredibly dark, transformation and healing can and do occur. But only if we embrace our role in making these things real. Transformation is possible. Healing is possible. It is not too late. That is our good news. When we cultivate gratitude, when we pay attention to everything that is happening around and within us, when we act upon our most deeply held values, then we are beginning to live our good news. To go even further with the good news of Unitarian Universalism, the good news is that you are loved just as you are, and you are not alone. The good news is that everything is connected to everything else. The good news is that communities like ours are already starting to bring into being something like the world that might be, the beloved community that we bring into being together. Good news does not always mean good times. It is challenging to live into the good news. The cards seem stacked against us much of the time. There are personal and societal challenges that are real and frequently daunting. The way forward is not always clear, but the possibility of a way forward is always there. Even when we can't see it, we hold that possibility of healing and transformation for one another. That is the strength and the power of transformational religious community. Even when you are feeling broken by the storms of life, those around you in this community are building and holding a container in which you might be restored to well-being and wholeness. And yes, all of that is good news. I'm reminded of a poem by Buddhist writer Marcy Thurston Shane in a piece inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh titled More Good News. The good news exists, often twisted and obscure. We try to print and live it right. Each of us is a special edition, every moment new ink wet behind our ears. The good news is being alive, changing, knowing the linden tree stands there changing, yet strong through many harsh winters. The good news is your eyes that touch the blue sky, the clouds. The good news is the child before me, my arms available. Hugging is possible. So often news is tangled and wrong. Please look at the special edition that I offer every moment and tell me if I am wrong or hurtful. The dandelion is there in a crack in the sidewalk, smiling her wondrous smile, singing her song of eternity. Bow your head and listen to her. Sing to her. You and I are flowers of a tenacious family. breathe slowly and deeply, free of previous occupation. The latest good news is that you can do it, and that I can take time to do it too, with you. Between now and the upcoming elections, we're going to need to gird our loins a little bit. And part of what I'm trying to do is to give us all some tools and some reminders that might be helpful in this endeavor. 2 weeks ago, I talked about the importance of cultivating gratitude in good times and bad. Last week, I focused on the importance of paying attention to both the challenging and beautiful things of life. And this week, I am reminding all of us, myself included, that we have good news to share right here and right now. I hope and pray that we will live our good news, that we will pay attention to the dandelion growing from the crack in the sidewalk, that we will breathe slowly and deeply, knowing in our bones that together we can do whatever needs to be done. May it be so. Amen.
Please rise again and body your spirit to join in singing our hymn, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind, in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Thank you. Please be seated.
It is time for our morning offering. Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of March is Ceasefire PA, whose mission is to end the epidemic of gun violence across the state and our country through education, coalition building, and advocacy. 50% of our offerings in March will go to Ceasefire PA, and the other 50% will go to support Sunnyhill. And if you would like to make a gift via our online giving system, you can do so by going to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says Online Giving, and then just follow the instructions from there. Or you can give by text at 412-324-3130. All text gifts will go to our Share the Plate offering. We'll be passing our offering baskets in just a moment where you can deposit cash and checks. And if you are writing a check, please put the Share the Plate in the memo line. And as always, we thank you for your generosity. Thank you, Finn. Please, let us say together the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
In this religious community, we reach back into the past to honor those who came before us and those who have given so much so that we may be here today. And we reach forward with hands of welcome to embrace those who are new to our congregation. Wherever you are in your journey and wherever your path may take you, may you carry the good news that you have heard here today with you in your heart and on your lips as a blessing to everyone you may meet. Go in peace.